morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. It's episode 4 of 4. Creating, recording, and releasing a song in NanoStudio. Howdy do. I hope everybody is doing well. If you are watching over on Facebook, welcome aboard. I'm glad to see you today. You can join us over here at YouTube if you like at youtube.com/Jade Starr anytime you wish, with all the awesome people over here who hang out in the chat, sitting over there or over there or wherever it is on your screen. You can also watch the show daily in the browser on the website at howtoapponios.com. It is streamed every day there in the browser, and you can chat within there as well. It's the YouTube feed. Or you can watch the show directly live on Twitch at twitch.tv/howtoapponios. There's also a Patreon if you would like to become a Patreon. So there's like a few tiers. If you sign up at $1 a month, every weekend I master your songs for your patronage. And $5 and up, you get your songs mastered, and you get to win the chance to win lots of apps. I think I've got like 3 apps giveaways this weekend. So yeah, that's that. And remember, at any time, feel free to super chat if you like. That's totally up to you, and totally never expected, but always loved. So yeah, we are in the home straight, and I'm going to say hello to everybody today. Now that we've got all that stuff out the way, have a coffee. And Sheila Vananda had to be blocked from the channel before you all got here, because they said they love me and they want Swarm Trumpet. I don't got no Swarm Trumpet for you, baby. All right. Hello, Danny Broderick. Hello, Brad Example. Hello, Joe. What do you know? Hello to Audible Video. Good to see you again, my friend. And Sai, it's always effing good to see you. Who else is here? Let me get this little scroll wheel. There we go. Thomas Christ, hello to you. Mobile Music Pro, welcome. Vortex, hello. Colin Powell. If you don't know, Colin and Doug just released their new album, and it's awesome. It's such a good way to listen, just to get in the mood to do a show. So it was really cool. So thank you very much. Check it out. It's on Bandcamp. Go over to Doug's channel at the Sound Test Room. Have a listen to it. It was really, really cool. Kim Harden Hudson is here. Also, I have an idea. Let me put down my coffee. Guess who forgot to not silence their phone? That would be me. I don't even know where my phone is. What the hell is it? I have no idea where my phone is. Awesome. I love that shit. Who else have I got to say hello to? Joe Glenn. Hello, Scott. Hello. Oh, man, that thing's going to keep going off, really? Do I have to break the... Hang on, let me break the fourth wall. Where are you, dude? Where's the phone? I'm just going to have to let it go off in the background. Oh, well, whatever. We just rock and roll. You know why? Because it's rock and roll. Everything's rock and roll. Hello, paying to get. Ching, 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 ching. Good to see you, my friend. Anyone else I've missed as I scroll down? Bubba. Hello, Bubba. Rockstar, good to see you too, my friend. And I think I've got everyone. I said Brad, yeah. Cool. Let's get into it. Hey, thank you, Danny. That's really kind of you. Thank you. That's really cool. Oh, they got the little super chat thing up the top there too. That's working for a change. Thank you so very much. All right, so what are we doing today? I'll tell you what we're doing. Hello, fam. I missed fam. Not a box. Hello, not a box. I think I'm right at the end here of my scrolling, so we're good. Thank you again, Danny, for the super chat. All right, so let's jump into this. Let's do this before we get into the song, because I'm super excited. Because there's a whole bunch of price drops. And it's interesting because one of the instruments that I used in this song has dropped, and that is Magellan Synthesizer 2. I used that on 4 tracks in this song, and it's dropped from $14.99 to $3.99. Galileo Organ 2, same $14.99. Roxen, if you don't have Roxen, you got Roxen in your head. All of them, all of these apps have dropped down to $3.99, so that's really cool. The Ionic apps, they're awesome apps. Tone Stack Pro, I love my Tone Stack Pro. That's down from $10 to $3.99, so all their apps have dropped down. Plus Spark Verb, down from $29.99 to $19.99. Beat Hawk, down from $9.99 to $4.99. And Ravenscraft, down from $35.99 to $17.99. All awesome apps, all on sale. And yes, Thomas Cross Ionic make awesome stuff. And as I said, I used Magellan on 4 tracks in this song. So you may have noticed I'm wearing this t-shirt today. We all fucking rise together. Russ 8889. Do I have a bigger screen? I do. What am I doing? There we go. We all fucking rise together by Russ. This is a t-shirt Russ made for me and sent out to me, because I'm dedicating today's song to my good friend Russ, who really got me into NanoStudio. Had him on the show for his song, which was sponsored by DistroKid, and that really opened my eyes to NanoStudio. I really didn't know much about it before then, so I'm dedicating this song and this series to Russ, mate. Love your guts, you're awesome. And that is that. And all right, so let's open up the track and show you where we're at from yesterday and where we're going today. Yeah, alrighty. NanoStudio. So what I had to do from yesterday was start panning and mixing, and I've already gone ahead and done it. So I'm going to show you what I've done, because if I really sat here and panned and did all that stuff, yeah, it would be a long show. So these are the tracks. What I'm going to do is play it for you first and enjoy my coffee and let you hear where it's at. And then I'll show you all the mixing, all the panning I've done, and then we'll do an export. We'll move that into, and then I will master it. And then we will be jumping over, not to there. That's Inception Plus. We'll be moving over to here to DistroKid, and I'm going to upload the track, the artwork, and everything else from there. Alrighty, so I'm going to turn down my mic, and we're going to play the song where it's at, and then I'll go through some of the changes and everything that I've made since yesterday. So without further ado, as Hippie would say, boom. Hello, Rick Lisk. Hello, hello. I can't resist. I have to do it. Hello. I'll time it right. Doctor's orders. Oh. Cool. So there you go. That is the mix. So it's I've tried to balance things out a bit, and now we'll go through what I actually did to balance it out, because it was already a pretty good mix. I'd already worked on it. So thank you guys for the nice comments and stuff. Thank you Mobile Music Pro for the super chat as well. Okay, so what did I do? What did I do? The first thing was the guitar, and it was probably the hardest thing on here, because this, as you know, the guitar track, I had to make that in GarageBand and then import that as a sample and then play it on my keyboard. Where's the guitar track? Here it is. So if I go over here to this screen, you can see I have the guitar programmed, because we can't record audio into NanoStudio 2, unfortunately, and it's not going to change. So you have to get over it and find ways around it, because that's what being an iOS music creator is all about, finding workarounds. Hello, Hambo Hounslow, good to see you as well. So the problem with the guitar was it was quite garish, and so you can see here, I'd given a little bit too much mids and highs here, so I had this EQ happening. That's how it was yesterday. Where actual fact, all I needed to do was just leave it as it was, because I'd already worked on the tone within GarageBand to create that tone to make it a more grittier, flat, kind of a lower rumbly kind of tone. And it was really standing out in the mix when it would come in. So that was the problem. So as soon as I removed that, and instead I just added, because I already had a FAC banded on here, I've added wider yesterday to it, just to spread it, because of how hard it was to go in and you know, create two tracks. And all I really did was I just added a little bit of this stereo gain here. So, and I really only use this as a volume thing. So that's what I did for the guitars. Let's go into here, and I'll show you some of the panning that I did as well. What I see. You think this workflow of sampling guitars audio you may use in the future outside of NanoStudio 2 seems interesting to sample and use the keyboard? Yeah, look, I think in relation to, look, it's not going to be the most ideal way to go. If I'm going to record a guitar-based song, Scott, I'm normally going to open a different kind of door. But, I mean, here's the other way around it too. In the future, I can see myself creating a whole lot of backing stuff in NanoStudio, because it's so user-friendly, and then just exporting the stems into something that I can play the guitar over. Because that's how I actually would have done it. That's probably the best way. No, I don't think I would have got the same results using GarageBand, Danny, at all, because the drum kit's so fantastic here in NanoStudio. I mean, I really didn't go through. Oh, well, I did. So here's the drums. So, and these are the stock standard. Pretty easy to play these drums. I mean, the drum samples in here, and remember, you can import your own samples in here as well. So it's really powerful. So if I was doing this song again, what I would probably do was make all the rest of the music except the guitars in this, and then export the stems into Cubasis, and then record the guitars in Cubasis, right? Why would I not do it in GarageBand? Because, see, as I said, there's pitfalls for each of these doors. Remember that. Pitfalls for everything. Think about this. If I then exported all these stems, and I'd worked so hard on creating such a really nice mix. See, when you go here to make a mix down, you get all these options, right? I know I'm jumping ahead a bit here, but this makes sense, right? So look at these options here. You've got type, your final mix, You can decide the regions here, 24-bit, 44 sample rate, normalize files, right? So you can choose not to normalize this stuff. So think about this. I export all these stems into GarageBand, then I play the guitar over these stems, and then add the guitars, and then mix down, and GarageBand shits all over it by adding its fucking normalization and just wipes it all out the fucking window, all the hard work that I've done. So that's why I would actually, if I was going to do it again a different way, probably make all the music here, then export the stems into Cubasis, and then do the guitars in Cubasis, because at least Cubasis doesn't normalize the files for you. You get an option. GarageBand has that. And GarageBand as well, and this is something else we'll go into in a second, doesn't have this. Fucking right at the end. This master mix, this master volume, where Cubasis and NanoStudio does. Right? So again, there's good things and bad things in all DAWs. The smart thing, and Jacob Hack's got a really fantastic video on this, why I use 4 DAWs. So if you want to look up that video at some time, look it up, because he's got a specific video where he shows Audio Pro. I think, I don't want to say which ones they are. I'm sure it's Cubasis. I think it might, I'm not sure which they all are. I can't remember from the top of my head. I could look it up right now. Use DAWs in conjunction with each other. You don't have to stick to one DAW. You can get, there's benefits from making something in one DAW and then doing something in another DAW and importing that into. That's how I've worked for the longest time with my Dread Circus stuff. I used to make the drums in GarageBand and then split up the drums into individual kit pieces, then export the drums into Audio Pro, and then use Drumagog to overwrite the samples in Audio Pro and create massive drum kits. So there's so many different ways and that you can use DAWs together. Like, it's always good to think outside the box. You got to remember, say it over and over again, where as iOS musicians, you have to think outside the box, because there are limitations. For no matter how good these little slabs of glass are that allow us to make music like we never dreamed before, there's always limitations, yeah? So there you go. Yeah, look, Audible video, I would love Drumagog. Just as an AU, please, one day. All right, so let's get back to this. So we've got our drums now. I've left the drums pretty much how they were. So, and this is what's cool about NanoStudio 2. As I click between the tracks, boom, Synthscaper. It just becomes the next sound on your keyboard. I just really like the way it's so easily. It's really seamless. It's a really great app. I'm really glad I did this little series on it. So I've left all the drums centered. Now I did go in individually and pan the drums a little bit, so I won't go in and show that fine detail. Where do I start the panning? So this track here, which is iSymphonic Choir R's. Now I've done no hard panning on this because I don't want this to, it's already quite a big sounding thing. I don't want it to be too jarring. So as you'll see with the panning, I've really only done, what have we got? So like 35. We've got a 35-degree angle kind of over there. And later on in the track, I have another set of choirs, which is pure synth. So I've got iSymphonic, and I've panned that to the opposite side, right? So I tried to balance out the two choirs to give you a little bit of stuff there going on. Let's go back, more panning. Where have we got panning? So I have this trumpet in the middle of the song, which is a hard 60 pan. So you can clearly hear it to that side just a little bit, but not, it's not garish. It's not like a shock to the system. I've got this factory sound, which is in the middle of the song as well. So again, just to break it up, I didn't want to do too much panning. I just want to make sure that you know it's stereo. That's the most important thing. What did I say, Joe? Did I see Joe write something? I'm way too lazy to use anything else other than Cubases, and that's perfectly all right. There are no rules. Use what makes you happy at the end of the day. So Apparillo, I think I did like a 35 here. Apparillo, this effect comes in right at the start. So along with the haunting little this bit. So I've left that down the middle, but what I did do with this, I do believe if I just gave it a little bit of wider. So I think I used wider on four parts, because, you know, the thing is with wider, and I did go 100% with this, only because, again, this, and there is a bit of black hole on this too. So with wider, you got to remember, you can't go too wide or you're just going to kill it. But because this was, if we take it out, it just splits it that little bit more, and I guess takes away some of the harshness of it. That's what I feel anyway. It's my story, and I'm fucking sticking to it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. Well, I didn't EQ it at all. So as you can see, I really didn't add any EQ to it at all. So I've been quite minimal on the EQ. I think, you know, man, I'm going to say stuff that people might get pissed off about. I know there's a shitload of videos out there that are all like about the correct way to EQ, and you know you must EQ, and you don't always have to EQ. Like, if something sounds good, let it go. Far too often people get in there and start they're mixing as they're recording, and this is just my opinion. Remember, these are only my opinions. Take them with a grain of salt or with a shaker of pepper. Doug, that's for you. People get so wrapped up because as you're normally recording, you're mixing as you're going, yeah? So you're mixing as you're going, and you're trying to get a rough mix. A lot of people do it that way. So if your song's already starting to sound okay and sitting together okay, why the fuck go in there and fuck with the EQ if it's all sitting nice? It's only if you've got things that are sticking out like dog's balls. And you don't always have to EQ. There are other things you can do. You can add like a reverb, and that might soften things. It might make things a little bit more distant in the mix. Just experiment is the key, really. Because I'm no expert. I've only been making music for, I don't know, 35 years or something. Just experiment but don't overdo stuff. Don't overthink, don't overdo stuff. That's just my opinion. I didn't overthink any of this. So what are we next? We've got Apparillo. I already went over how much I've panned that. This iSymphonic Orchestra, which when I recorded, I used my Arturia Keystep 37, which I love so much. I actually used the octave on here. So I think I had it set to 3 notes. What have we got? 1, 2, 3. And that's what's cool about this keyboard. You can actually change the chord. You can actually set chords on this keyboard. And just by turning the knob, you can change from a minor to an octave. Or just one note. So some of these I actually set chords for and I could do it all with one finger because I'm a cheat. One finger of death. It works, man. What else? Did I just change something there? No, I didn't. All right, so the next sound we had was the Waverly. This is the Waverly, and again, just a light 35 pan for this. Moving right along, we're at the end of the whole track because there's not much to this, yeah. The pure synth, which was the other choir vocals, and the last track, this man Jelen. So, and in this track, I think I'm playing. So I've left that up the guts. And where was the other Mangellan track I wanted to cover before we move on? This one. No, that's that one. It's this one, I think. I've left that up the guts as well because it's a pretty driving part of the song. So that's really it. I really didn't do too much since yesterday. That's my mix and I'm sticking with it. I'm not going to change it or anything like that. And I have kind of cheated. So I've gone ahead yesterday and then taken this mix, mixed it down, and then I've listened to it on my stereo. So we have a surround sound stereo. I've listened to it on headphones. I've listened to it on this. Fucking, what's going on, dude? There we go. So this, it's just a little, it's a little Bluetooth speaker. It's terrible, right? But I don't own a car, yeah? So to me, this is like the equivalent of having a car stereo, which you always recommended to have a car stereo. This thing's fucking horrible. If you can get something to sound good on this and everything else, yeah, I've had this for years. This is my car stereo. And it's a really good thing. And then the last thing that I had to listen to it on was this, where my speakers up here, my monitors. So you can see one of my monitors up there. So I have a pair of those sitting up there. And they're 100-watt monitors, and they're M-Audio monitors. They're really, really beasty. And everything sounded good. So that was enough for me to know, all right, this mix is good. I can settle on this. And then I did a master and did all the same thing. And yeah, we're all good. So I know this all sounds right. I've tested it all out. So what we're going to do now, hello Stu Cash. Is there anyone else I've missed who's come in while I'm yammering on? I don't think so. Hope you're doing well, Stu. So we're going to mix this down now, and then we're going to master this in Lursons, because Lursons is cool as well. So what I want to tell you before we go ahead and mix this down is this master track. This is important. So let's go ahead and play the song again. Go full screen so you can see what's going on. Hit play. You'll notice how far down I have this volume slider. So I've got this down at around 12. And the highest this mix get is around -6 here, right? So it's quite a low mix. I've got this actually turned up really loud so you can hear it on my mixing desk down here. But I'm mixing it really low in the final master. Why? Because I need lots of space in the final mix here. So I need lots of space for the master. I need plenty of space. So you can see I've got all this room when this actually gets mixed down. So then I can master it and master the fuck out of it and bring everything up and really make it go. Boom. That was worth it. Worth it. Totally worth it. So yeah, it's a fuck off. So it's a really good idea to mix your songs low. Don't mix them loud. This isn't, again, going back to GarageBand. The problem with GarageBand it's fantastic in so many ways. But when you do a mix down, it normalizes everything and brings everything up. And it's not really good for mastering. It sucks for mastering. It's a pain in the ass. I wish Apple would release a button to turn off auto normalization, and at least a master track so you could do that. So anyway, let's mix this down. So to mix this down, very intuitive. I'm going to just, I don't think I need to save it because I haven't really changed anything. There's your little mix down button. Just click on here and you get all these options. So final mix, entire song. So we want to do WAV 24-bit, 44.1, normalized files. No, everything's good to go. I don't want to do any of this stuff here. Don't want to zip output files or trim the end silence. I want to trim that myself. Do all that stuff. Don't want to trim the start silence. I just want to do all that myself afterwards. So all I need to do is basically hit this button and we're off. And it's mixing down the beach, yeah. And Max Headroom, man, what happened to Max Headroom? Oh, he's not real. Sorry. So now, oh God, I've got to come up with something entertaining while this is happening. What can I do? Do I have anything to juggle? No. So what I can tell you is I'm going to master this like I master everything in Lurson's Mastering Suite, which is by IK Multimedia. You may think I'm cheating by using it, but at the end of the day, what's fantastic about Lurson's, what's not fantastic, let's talk about that first. It's expensive. It's expensive. But if you're not really confident with using the mixing tools that are available, like mixing apps like Final Touch or the various other ones, the one by Clevgrand, can't think what it's called. It's kind of, I think Lurson's is extremely valuable for the money that you're outlaying, especially if you're recording songs, and putting them out, because it does a lot of the work for you. They've spent a lot, the people behind the Lurson's mastering console have spent many, many years to build this console and then to emulate the console and to put all of the algorithms in. And it really works well for mastering music, specifically for releasing on digital stores. And you're going to see how easy it is, yeah? Have I played with Cubase's mastering strip yet? Yeah, of course. I've recorded stuff on pretty much every DAW Vortex. So, I'm not biased against any DAW. I think if you're limiting yourself to one particular of anything, you're only limiting yourself, right? Because, as I said, there's a lot of problems with Cubasis. Cubasis definitely isn't like perfect by any stretch. Fuck, Cubasis 3 has been a fucking nightmare. Let's be honest. It's only been recently that it's been okay. I mean, Joe was still using Cubasis 2. Are you still using Cubasis 2, Joe? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's great. I think the strip's great. Would I personally master a song in it? No. But that's me. Everyone's got their own take on what they do and what makes them comfortable. I mean, what's that other app that you can master in? I can't think what it's called. Bark Filter. So I've done a show on that where Bark Filter, you can actually master in Bark Filter. They have that fantastic stereo preset, which is fucking sick. It's really cool for, if you're not sure how to master. There's a whole lot of different ways. If it works for you to master in Cubasis, then that's great. I think you've got to find out what's comfortable for you. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you need to do, all right? Because you don't need to do anything unless you find somebody tells you about something and actually changes your workflow and makes it easier. You can try it, but if you're comfortable doing whatever the way you do it, don't change it. But be open to suggestions, right? Look at me. I would never have thought in the last year, I'm a metalhead. These days I review more synth apps than anything else. I've become a massive synth lover, yeah? So, there you go. All right, so this is ready. This is done. I'm going to hit View File. There we go. So here is the file. Let's put it here. As you can see, I've already made a few of these. So I really didn't need to make another one of these. I'm just doing it for your benefit. Yes, yes, your benefit. Now I can open this up. I can play this from here and listen to it. I hit the play button. But what I'm going to do is, it tells you how long it is. Not how long. Oh, yeah. So 4 minutes 32. Who thought I was going to make a 4-minute 32 song? So you've got your little dots here. Click on that. And I'm going to export this now into everybody's favorite app, Audio Share. And look at that. Quite a very small WAV file there, right? So look at all the room I've got there. Plenty of room. That's just so much fun, yeah? So much room to play with. Let's have a look at it compared to. So that was the one I did yesterday. So it's virtually the same thing, yeah? I haven't changed it. So there you go. Now, will it play? So it's all sounding good. Now before I master this, I'm going to want to fix the top and tail of this. Because I want to fade in and I want to fade out, yeah? Sweet. So we're going to go into tools here. This is the beautiful thing about Audio Share. We're going to go trim and fade, and we're going to start with the beginning of the song. And as you can see, this little section here, you can just drag your finger or your mouse across. And when you do that, you can see up here, you're creating these fade-ins and a fade-out. It's probably a bit too much there. Let's go down to about 3. Hit play. Nice. Just enough fade in for the beginning. And that's cool. So we'll go over to the end now. And I'm going to give this a fair bit more, because we've got a whole bunch of that noise there at the end. And let's have a listen to how it ends. Oh man, I've got another bot in my Twitch stream. See, this is what happens when you start getting viewers on Twitch. You start doing okay. You get bots coming in telling you every day, do you want to be famous? It's like, I am famous, I'm on Twitch. I don't need you, loser. Let me get rid of it. Ban. See you later. Gone. Lucky I have Twitch open every day so I can go and do that. So there we go. That was the fade out. It's nice subtle fade out, I think. Nice and slow over time. Gives it time to breathe. Sweet. So now I'm going to save this. Done. Saved. Let's rename it. So you hold down on it to rename it. And we shall call this you. And I have, check this out. So if you're not using shortcuts on iOS, you should. Because my band name for this particular project is Utensils, and it's a U-10 space cells, I've created a shortcut for it. So when I put the letter U and the number 1, it automatically pops it up down the bottom here. Boom. Boom. Utensils. So we've got impending doom. We'll call this mix down and save that, and we're done. That is our final track. So now we're going to open this up in Lessons. So we hit this little button down here to bring up our apps. I'm going to find Lessons here. Boom. And yes, we want to open it up. Okay, so this is Lessons. There's not a lot you need to know about Lessons. There's not a lot of buttons. It's really fantastic. You've got all these presets up here for the style of music. All these styles of music. And I already know how I'm going to set this up. I am choosing pop rock with less glue. So I don't want to add any more like clutter to it. I'm just want to just leave it kind of as it is. Now I've got this push button here which controls all of these frequencies down here, this like kind of EQ section. So you'll see when I turn this up, these all move together. And with each of these presets in Lursons, they have painstakingly created. So if I go to Jazz, these are all in different. They're organized differently per preset for per style of music. And when you give it push, you can move these all together, or you can go in and move them individually as well. But we are going to use pop rock, not brighter. We're going to use less glue, and I'm going to bring down this push because I just want to push it a little bit, right? So I'm going to give it 10%, maybe. There we go. So just make sure everything's good there. Boom. And the only other controls you have in here for mastering, the only other three things you can move are these: the de-esser and the threshold and the makeup gain and on the compressor. That's pretty much all you need to do. What's fantastic is just leave it alone. Don't fuck with it too much. They've worked hard on these presets to make this work. If you've paid for it and you've actually paid for the settings here, I have the HD engine here, and when I read this out to you, so this control enables processing, monitoring capabilities, external high-res devices, and export of mastered files at high sample rates of 88. Turn this on if you are experiencing clicks, pops, or playback. And this little section here, you'll see, is called Enable this to create masters that are completely clear from distortion when played from digital distribution and streaming services that use compressed formats. This will produce files that are 100% technically capable with Apple's mastered for iTunes specs. Now remember, this is fairly expensive, this app, because you buy the two parts of this. You don't have to buy both parts, but it's worth it. And you're going to clearly hear, when I play this now, just what happens to this song. So let's hit play. Give it some volume for you. And watch what this does when this is off at the moment. I'll turn it on. So it just brings it to life that little bit. And it's not much louder. So it's really flat without it. So not only is it giving it volume, right? You can clearly hear it's bringing up other instruments, and how I like to describe it is it's like it keeps the sound in there, right? It keeps the original sound, but everything else that's kind of underneath, it brings it up like a hug and just gives it a big hug. That's how beautiful it is. Now the push audible video is controlling the EQ down the bottom, all right? So there you go. That's controlling this EQ. You can go in here individually and change this yourself. So what else I'm going to do when I hit play, you've also got this little button here which allows you to hear if your song is actually in stereo. Let's have a listen. So I'm going to click it to mono now. Really good for getting an idea of how everything's sounding. Fucking sick. Whoa. So the other thing you'll notice too, the little VU meter here. Now this is me, right? This is me. This is not how everybody should work. This is how I work. You don't have to take everything I say as you know, how to do things, even though it's called How to App on iOS. When the music comes back in, you'll notice this VU meter here I have, it's kind of hitting around this 3 here, right? Because what Lursens does with its very intelligent, I can't think of the word, I've said it about 8 times, algorithms, it's bringing everything up like that big hug and really building a solid sounding song. If you're bringing it up too full, you're going to get things like pumping in that. So you have to be kind of gentle. You have to be gentle with mastering. You always have to be gentle. So you see, once the guitars come back in, you're just hitting there. And you'll see when I do the final master. Cool. So there's the stereo file there. You can see it tells you, so it's 44.1, 24-bit. Now I'm actually going to just go ahead and master it because I've done it before. Boom. Be gentle. Don't be a dick. Hey, hippie. Good to see you. So now I'm going to export this, and you get a whole lot of options here. So you can export this as a ACC, low quality. I don't know why the fuck you would do that. That's crazy. Yeah, OGG, original gangster. Boom. A WAV file, even a FLAC file. So I'm going to choose WAV file. You've got all these options to go 96 kilohertz, 82, 48, plenty of options. I'm sticking with 44.1. We're going to go 24-bit because that's how it was mixed, as 24-bit. And I'm going to hit more down here because when you hit more, once it's mastered, it gives you the option of where you'd like to save it. So that's basically it. Now I'm going to hit export and let it do its magic. Off it goes. I love Lursens. I think it's a really wonderful app for people who know how to master, because, you know, I know my way around Final Touch and stuff for mastering already. But for people who already know how to master and who struggle with mastering, it's good for everybody. You may get people say, oh, but look, it's all made for you. Who gives a fuck if it's all got presets and all this all made for you? Anything to make your fucking life easier to create, record, and release songs is fucking ace, you know? So there we go. That's done. We're going to move this to audio share. Click the audio share. And there you go. So you may say, that looks like a bit like a sausage. But those parts there that you can see that are kind of beefed up, they are where the guitars are in, where the metal kind of sound is, right? So you can see the difference between these two. It's still maintaining the shape of the WAV. It's not like a flat out sausage here where it's all just one continuous thing. You've still got all of that fun in all of that variation, all of that breath, and all of that what's the word? Acrobatics. Let's just say that. So let's show you the difference. Dynamics. Thank you, Dynamics. I have that turned up very loud too. Dynamics! So also remember, I've done this ahead of time. I've yesterday done this mix down and master using all the same setup. I've already listened to this on my monitors. I've already listened to this finished product. I know there's no pumping in there. I know we've got a good mix. It sounds ace. And I'm happy with that. It's got plenty of loudness for Spotify and Apple. It's going to do absolutely fine. It's going to sit really nice up there. And everything's still stereo, sounding good. This is the one I'm going with. So let's do it. What what do I need to do? So what I'm going to do is, to get this across, I'm going to save this to my Google Drive so I can open it up on my computer. It's because I have a Windows computer that I'm using, even though I have a I have a Mac over here and a Windows computer here. So there's my Mac Mini there. I'm going to do it on my Windows computer today. So we'll send this over to my Google Drive, and then I can actually download that onto the computer. And in the meantime, while that's downloading onto my computer, we'll go to the artwork here. So we'll let this go, and then we'll check out the artwork for the album, because I have changed it a little bit. Yeah, mastering, it just makes a massive, massive difference. And you know, hey, look, there are some songs. I know Russ just released a song up on his YouTube channel, and I've been mastering a whole bunch of Russ's songs. In fact, I've probably mastered about 50 of his songs, because he's a patron, and that's what I do on the weekend. I master your songs if you're a patron, and we do it in a live stream every weekend. But Russ released a song this week where he didn't master it because he didn't need to. You don't always need to master songs. It depends on the style of music and that too. Nothing's set in stone, yeah? So, yeah, that's pretty much what I do, Kim. I use this because, and it started out, why I started doing it on the Patreon is because license is so expensive. So not everyone can afford it. So I just thought, hey, if you become a patron for $1 a month, come over on the weekend, we do a live stream like this for a couple of hours. You send me a song. We have a whole bunch of songs that we're all in the chat together, and we run them through lessons. That's basically it. Good fun. So that's now in my Google Drive. So we don't need this anymore. So let's have a look at the artwork, which was made here in Over. So it was made in two apps. I use Over, and I use Pixelmator as well. So it's Pixelmator. Pixelmator is kind of like Pixelmator is kind of like so here's the artwork in Pixelmator, kind of like Photoshop, because you get options like painting and erasing, retouching stuff, distorting. You've got to select and crop. You can format the fuck out of stuff. You can arrange layers. You can create layers down the side here. It's like a mini Photoshop. It's really nice, and it's not too expensive either. If you're not really into getting like Photoshop on iOS or what's the other one? God, there it is. Affinity Photo, which is pretty expensive as well. Pixelmator is really good, but I use this in conjunction with Over because Over's really fun. Yeah. Over is super fun and really easy to use. So again, you've got layers in Over. You can do heaps of cool things. Oops, we didn't want to do that. So I can click on the logo. You've got all these. You can actually import your own fonts in here. I have hundreds and thousands of fonts in here. Probably about 300 fonts, maybe 500 or so. You can change the style of the text. You can go into images, and you've got all these. You can adjust contrast, saturation. You can add shadows, and it's really fun to use. So I use this, and as you'll see, this artwork is in 3 parts. So you've got layers up the top here. I have the logo. I have the photo, and the writing at the bottom, and the logo, and that's pretty much it. That is the artwork. So I'm not sure if I actually saved this new version. Let's check. Nope. So now I'm going to save a copy of this, and we just go up here, save. Do I want to save it like that? How do I want to save it? I want to save it as let me just decide how I want to save this export settings. Yeah, so I'm saving it as a PNG, high quality. Cool. So we'll just save it to the Photos album. That should be fine. So that's now gone to my Photos album. And what I'm going to do next is Go to Documents. I'm going to send this to my computer. So Documents is really cool if you want to connect to your computer as well. So I'm just going to connect here to my desktop, put in that code, 8130. And now this is connected to my laptop. I can show you that. There we go. So now I can go in here to the Photos album on my laptop. Click on here, into Photos, and then I can download this to my computer. Boom. Done. And that is downloaded, and we can close that tab now. We can disconnect here. So now we've got the file. Whoops, we've got an Inception again. Yay. That's right. So now we're at the fun bit. Cool, we're going to release this sucker. Yeah, finally. Thank you all for hanging out still, because it's going to go a little bit over the hour today. All right, so this is my DistroKid account. As you can see, I have quite a few releases here on my DistroKid account. So because I have 5 bands, I have Dread Circus, Filthy Maggoty Cunt, Utensils, which is this artist. I have Metheist and Despised. So I've got a whole bunch of different artists. And as you can see up here, I have a priority account as well with DistroKid. Because they have sponsored me in the past on this channel, they've given me a priority account. So hopefully this, having a priority account gets you like a really fast release. So this could be out within the next 6 hours. Love you, DistroKid. I need to let you know, today's show isn't sponsored by DistroKid, but if you want to join up with DistroKid, because they are fucking awesome, you can sign up by clicking my link and you get 7% off. There it is up the top there, distrokid.com/VIP/Jade Starr, and you get 7% off. Yeah, DistroKid, absolutely rock. $20 a year, unlimited tracks, awesome stuff. There is another plan, a second plan, where you can have up to 2 artists, and you get a few more little features. Or you can be on the plan I'm on, which is a label plan, because I have multiple artists, and you get 5 artists. You get to create your own record labels. You have up to 5 label names if you want. And I think that's what, $79 a year, but totally worth it if you have multiple artists and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much, Thomas. Love you guts, mate. Alrighty, let's do this, shall we? Let's. I'm super excited. Who knew that 4 days ago I was going to release a brand new song? So we go to upload here, and this is where we upload and the magic happens. So up the top here, you've got all of the available places it goes to. So I'm going to select Snapchat Beta and add this on here, and you get this. Do you own 100% of the publishing rights for this release? Snapchat can only accept releases from others. Yes, I do, so shut the fuck up. Boom. Done. So these are all the stores it's going to: Spotify, Apple, iTunes. There's heaps of places it goes to. So you just want to sign them all, yeah? Nice and easy. Here, number of songs. We got 1. It's just a single. All good. Previously released. No, it's brand new. Artist, band name. And you can see it's come up with Jade Starr Dread Circus. I don't want that. I want U-10. Whoops. We want a capital U-10 cells. And then look at that. It's already popped up here underneath. You're all set. This release will appear in Spotify along your other Utensils releases. Super smart, yeah? Super smart. When do I want to release it? Now! Do it now, bitch! As soon as possible. And you can see I've chosen my own record label name. So on my website at howtoaponios.com or jadestar.com.au, my label's called Ridiculosity Records, where you can get all my bands and projects and stuff. So that's the beauty of having like the second tier or the third tier of a DistroKid account. And now we get to choose an image, and you're not going to see the little pop-up box here, unfortunately, but I'm just going to select the image. Now, ensure your image is at least 3000 by 3000 pixels, just to be safe. I always make mine 5,000 by 5,000. Just do it. Then you never get rejected, yeah? It'll always work. So there's the artwork. Looking good. All sitting there. Happy days. Love it. Language is English, right? So genre. I don't really know what to do for genre. Unfortunately, you can't see it here. I'm going to choose... I don't know. I'm going to choose this time around. I think I'm going to choose electronic. I'm going to choose alternative, actually. Alternative. And for the second one, I'm going to choose metal. Let's see, choose metal because of the guitars. So, and the title of the track is Impending Doom. So make sure you capitalize all your titles. So that's good. That is the title of the track. Over is called in the App Store. I think it's called Over Photo Edit. Let me show you. I think it's Over Photo Edit. Let's see if I can find it that way. Oh, there we go. That was it. No. Can I find it this way? Yeah, there it is. So just put Over Edit Photos. There it is there. It's a subscription model too, so be aware of that. To add all the I pay a yearly subscription for it. So yeah, that's another thing you've got to want to have a subscription. Totally, be aware. Where are we? Back here. Boom. Okay, so you can add a collaborator if you want. I don't need to because it's just me. Don't need to add a version or anything. Now we need to add the file. So here is the file, Impending Doom 2 master. And it should pop up here in a second. There it is. So it says here, I've added the file. We're good to go. We can keep scrolling down. Where are we? Songwriter. Either I wrote this song or managed the songwriter. It's an original tune or it's another artist. This is an original song. So that's me. Hello, Thomas Gillane. Did I say that already? Fuck, I'm gone. I probably did a minute ago. I don't know. So, songwriter's real name. This is important because they need this for when they pay you. Yeah? So, you got to put in your real name here. Jade. Starr. Done. Explicit lyrics. No, I don't have explicit lyrics, yeah? Is this a radio edit? No, it's not a radio edit. This song has always been clean. Is it an instrumental? Yes, it has no lyrics. Preview, I'm just gonna, you know what? I can specify this if I want. Let's do this. Let's try it. Let's have a listen in the song. So we'll go back over here to audio share and we'll see where the guitars come in. So I reckon it's about here. It's at 15. So it's about 16. Yeah, 16. There we go. So let's jump back and I'm going to put in here. So 16 seconds. Doot, 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 doot. There we go. So that should kick in there for when people listen to the preview in iTunes or on Apple Music or TikTok. It'll start the preview from there, and you just get those guitars instead of just the opening of the straight in, and you'll get to hear. Cool. Track price. How much do I want to charge for it? This is the other thing you get when you pay for a different level of a tier within DistroKid. If you pay for the basic $20 a year, you don't get to choose your price. But as a higher tier, you actually get to go in and choose the price. And I'm going to choose, you know what, let's do it at 69 cents. Because 69, 6 and 9, 69. Ooh la la. Just because of the number. Fuck it. Right. So, right, everything's good there. If I scroll down a little bit more. Now, here's all the bonus stuff you can add. You've got YouTube Content ID. I'm not going to choose YouTube Content ID, and I'll explain why again, yeah? If you choose YouTube Content ID, then every time your song is played on YouTube, somebody will get a copyright claim, and you will get money for it, okay? And that includes you. If you put your own song up, make a video clip and put your own song up on YouTube, you will get a copyright claim for your own fucking song. So don't do it. Don't be Universal. Don't be the big record companies. Because you got to pay for it anyway. It's like $4.95 a year. Plus 20% of the YouTube ad revenue. Don't do it. Store Maximizer. This what Store Maximizer does for $7.95 a year. If any new stores get added during the year, your song gets automatically added to it. You don't need to do that because you can manually go in and do that. This new feature I've talked about on the episode I did of Behind the Song with Russ. Shazam, Siri. I don't really need any of this stuff. I don't need to pay any extra music for this. I just want to release it. So the last thing I need to do is go check all these boxes. Yes, I recorded this. Yes, I'm not using anyone's artist name. Yes, I've read everything. Yes, all good. Happy days. I've selected all these. Now, important here. Go back up the top and go back over everything and make sure you've done the right thing. So it's a single, not previously released. The band name's in there. It's all being checked. I want it released as soon as possible. Ridiculosity Records. The artwork's there. We've picked our language. We've picked our genre. The spelling of the song is correct. In Impending Doom. All good. The file's sitting there. I've put my name in for music and lyrics. No explicit lyrics. No radio edit. We've done all that. Everything's good to go. All I need to do is now hit done, and this will upload, and the song will be ready. So, fingers crossed, yeah. Let's do it. Bang. Boom. So the artwork's up, nice and quick, and now we're uploading the song. Be aware, folks, you can't do this on your iPad. You can't do this on your iPhone. Currently, if you're signed up to DistroKid, you can only do this on a computer, on a Mac or a Windows computer in a browser. If you try it on an iPad, it won't work. The song file will come back with an error and you'll get very frustrated. There is an app coming from DistroKid. It is coming. It is on its way. They have been upfront with me about it, and it is coming. So I guess you can use Linux. You can. It's a computer. It's an operating system. So yeah, it just needs to be on a computer at this time. Yeah, you need a browser on a computer. You can try and trick it on your iPad, but it won't work. It won't work. Trust me, don't do it. You'll just get frustrated. All right. Boom. We're done. There it is. It says that was easy, wasn't it? We're all happy. When will this single be released? Give the stores a week to push your album live. That's not always the case. During the pandemic, it was like that because so many people are uploading music. But currently, you're looking at about three to 4 days. Hopefully mine's going to be up in the next few hours. So I can now go ahead, and what it does here, it gives you a bunch of links so you can preview a pre-save page. So if I click on here, it creates this pre-save page for you, and it gives you what your little preview bit will be. That's coming through my stereo. So you've got a little preset page there. Let me just fix this up. There we go. Play. It's not playing now. So you can actually click on this. You can save this link here. You can go up here and copy this link. And you can go paste that into your... you can go in and paste that into your Facebook, into your Twitter and all that, and get people all vibed up and excited about it. And that's it. That's it, man. It's done. So for the Label DistroKid account, from what I do recall, it's 79. 79, I do believe, US. And I think the middle one is 39.95. I think. So that's 2 artists. Oh, 35, sorry. So it's around 35 for the 2 artists, but for the label for 5 artists, it's around 79. If you just do a Google search for it, you should find reviews and prices for it. Just type in DistroKid, and I could probably do that now, couldn't I? But that's it. Everything's done. So now if I go back to here, where are we? Back over here, and go scroll up to my music page, you'll see there it is, sitting there, waiting to go, along with all my other music. And when I click on it, you can see, just make sure everything's good. Your files have been successfully processed and your single is in the midst of being transferred to stores. This can take a few days, excluding weekends and holidays. All good. The artwork's got a little marker next to it saying it's all good. This is currently processing. This can take a few minutes for it to check. And then the color will change and it'll say good to go. And once it's good to go, it gets shipped out to all the stores. And that's when you got to wait for Apple and Spotify to make their decision, because sometimes they can reject the artwork, right? So I've had songs rejected for artwork for as little as I had a logo hidden in a photo of what was it? I think of a company that is a competitor to Apple, so they rejected it. If you want to know more about releasing about how the style guide works, I'll give you this tip as well. Let's head over. So that's all done. Let's head back over here and open a browser. So if one last final thing for the day. Oh, there we go. I just got an email from DistroKid saying your song was successfully processed. So done. Apple Music Style Guide. Hopefully I can find it doing this. So Apple actually have a style guide for releasing music, and I think that's the top one there. Here we go, and this is it. So this is their style guide, and you can go through all of this, and it tells you all the styles of music, soloists, titles, how you can add parentheses in song title names, what things they don't like. See, here you can see misleading content will be hidden for the reason things they don't like, cultural sensitivities, Nazi propaganda. They go through all the stuff that will get rejected. Spotify has one of these as well. So if you look up Spotify style guide, you can find this as well. It's a boring read, but it's actually nice to know what kind of things, because blurry images on your album covers and stuff, they'll get rejected if Apple deems them to be too blurry. If you've taken a photo that was really small and you've tried to blow it up to fit to the size, you could get rejected for that. These are important things to read, because you got to remember, once DistroKid, because DistroKid's already said the music's fine, the artwork's fine, they now have to send that on to Apple and Spotify, and now they decide next. So your song still could get rejected. Yeah? If it gets rejected, then you've got to re-upload. And the problem is, Apple or Spotify, they don't tell DistroKid why it was rejected. So you just get a generic email from DistroKid going, it was rejected maybe for these reasons, and it gives you like about 10 reasons, and you've got to work it out which one. So just try and understand what could get you rejected. So it's a pretty long style guide. Look at that. It's a really boring read, but it's a funny read too. Sure thing, hippie. If it's released by then, I will send it to you. Definitely. So I will definitely do that for you. But yeah, most important thing is make sure your image is at least 3000 by 3000, not blurry, not grainy. Make it bigger than that. Make it 4000 by 4000. Don't steal other people's images, and you should be good. And just make sure your song's mixed nice and happy days. I hope you have enjoyed this series on using NanoStudio. I hope you've got something out of it. Thank you all for hanging out with me on this series. Thank you for all your support during the last week where I've been dealing with some really heavy depression and stuff like that. So thank you all. And again, thank you all for kind messages during this week. It's been really, really amazing how wonderful you all are. So I thank you so, so much. Thanks for the super chats today and all that jazz. And, you know, as I always say, keep making music, you know, keep doing the things that make you happy, and keep making mistakes, because they actually do. They really do make you better. You know what I'm saying? Mistakes aren't terrible things. They're just things that you won't do next time. So let's bang this up on audio share. We'll listen to this mastered version, and we'll call it a day. Jude Patrick has liked my stream on Twitch. Thank you very much, Twitch. Thanks. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think I'm looking at Playbeat tomorrow. So join me for that. And let's bang this song out. And I'll see you then. Adios, amigos. Oh, yeah. I might dance along.
Ah!
See you later, everybody. Be good to yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow.